Greetings, owners of fine luxury cardboard rectangles. We are here today to open some fine luxury cardboard rectangles. We have a Kaldheim collector booster, and I am hoping to have a better experience with this than I did with the Commander Legends Collector's Edition, because I have to admit, was really unhappy with that. So let's hope the card quality is better with these cards right here. Let's take a look at what we've got. So we're starting out with a foil Death Knell Berserker. So this is 1 black and 1 for a 2/2 elf berserker. When Death Knell Berserker dies, if its power is 3 or greater, create a 2/2 black zombie berserker creature token. And the flavor text said, Sven felled the elf with an arrow through the chest, but moments later, the corpse rose with a sneer to fight again. And that's from the Longbeard Saga. It's interesting. I like the idea that if you can somehow make this slightly more powerful, then it will raise itself up as a zombie. And man, it's got such a cold feel to it. And that axe looks amazing. It's got a nice ancient feel to it. Kind of gives me a little bit of Skyrim vibes, man. And that elf looks pretty intense. Although, honestly, it looks like the expression on the face is like, what I'm touching is really cold. I don't like it. All right. Then we've got, I guess since I talked about the, hoping the cards are better, at least these foils aren't all faded out. There's a little bit of a curve, but definitely better than Commander Legends. So then we've got Starnheim Courser, 1 white and 2 for a 2/2 flyer. Artifact and enchantment spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Flavor text says, every worthy warrior who arrives in Starnheim is gifted a mount befitting their heroism. A mighty Pegasus raised and trained by the Valkyries. Okay, that's actually really cool, man. It's like, you have made it. You have made it to Starnheim. You are good enough. So here you go. Have a Starnheim Courser. Oh, will Ranar ever get a Starnheim Courser? Well, we'll find out. All right, then we've got Battlefield Raptor. This artwork makes me laugh, dude. 1 white for a 1/2 flying bird with first strike. It wheeled upward, away from the shrieks and thunder. It reached the point where sky met smoke, and with but a glance at the horizon, aimed itself and dove. I mean, I feel like the focus of this almost is everything blowing. It feels like an escape style card. The Raptors just like, cool guys don't look at explosions. They turn their head and fly away. All right. Then we've got Litjaric Hinseekers. I love the shapeshifters from this set, man. They're really cool. 1 blue and 3 for a 2/4 changeling. When it enters the battlefield, if you control 3 or more creatures that share a creature type, put a +1/+1 counter on them and then scry 1. And the flavor text says, like calls to like and none are forgotten. That's cool. That is some nice, like, somewhat cryptic flavor text. I like that. And the artwork is awesome. The shapeshifters on Kaldheim are my all-time favorite shapeshifters. They don't look all like goopy, dumb, alien-bodied like the ones from Lorwyn. They're all goofy looking. And then the changelings from, what's it called? Modern Horizons just look like they're actually fading away. Now, these guys have a really crazy feel to them. The masks and staffs that these guys bear, pretty intense. I dig it. And I do like the fact that this cares about you having 3 creatures that share a type and showing 3 in the artwork. I like those sort of literal depictions. Then we've got Dwarven Reinforcements. 1 red and 3 for a sorcery. Create 2 2/1 red dwarf berserker creature tokens. I like this. They've differentiated the dwarf tokens very much by making them 2/1. 2/1 tokens are not very common in Magic, which makes this stand out more. And it's got Foretell for a red and 1, so you can put it off to the side if you want to. Basically, I guess you're paying the same casting cost. You're just doing it in installments. And the flavor text says, orders. We don't wait for orders. And then it shows the dwarves kind of charging off. I'll admit that I don't really care too much for the look of the dwarves, although I do like the action energy of the artwork. Then we've got Shepherd of the Cosmos. Isn't that lovely? 2 white and 4 for a 3/3 flyer. When Shepherd of the Cosmos enters the battlefield, return target permanent card with converted mana cost 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. And it has Foretell for 1 white and 3. So, I mean, it's pretty straightforward, right? It lets you resurrect one of your little dudes. The idea of this angel being a Shepherd of the Cosmos is really cool. And the Aurora Borealis effect on the wings is absolutely lovely. So I really dig this. Then we've got Boreal Outrider. 1 green and 2 for a 3/2 snow elf warrior. Whenever you cast a creature spell, if snow of any of that spell's colors was spent to cast it, that creature enters the battlefield with an additional +1/+1 counter on it. So overall, it's like a meh draft kind of card. Who cares? But the artwork's awesome. I really like the snowy background. I love the crazy antlers on this elk that he's riding. Pretty sturdy looking beast. This has a really nice kind of vibe to it where you just picture them kind of in a serene glade where not too much is going on. Oh, snow-covered mountain. Nothing wrong with foil snow-covered lands, let me tell you that right now. So you've got a mountain in the background erupting, and you got a hubcap here. Now, clearly that's a shield that's fallen in the snow, and I like that as an extra little detail, right? They didn't need to put that in there, but it adds some flavor to it. This is where some grand warrior or berserker or some such has lost their shield. Then we've got Surtland Elementalist. Now we're getting into the juicier stuff. 2 blue and 5 for an 8/8 as an additional cost to cast this spell. Reveal a giant card from your hand or pay 2. So he actually costs 9 if you don't have a giant in your hand. And whenever Surtland Elementalists attack, you may cast an instant or sorcery spell from your hand without paying its mana cost. Okay. I mean, this feels like the kind of creature you're going to feel better if you, like, cheat it into play, but the artwork is intense. This is one of the most epic-looking giants I've ever seen. He's standing up here on what's probably like a mountaintop, but because of the size of him, his grand scale, it almost just feels like he's standing on a rough stone pillar, right? And he's towering up into the sky. The skies are jagging with like power, and you can see what looks almost like runic designs on this storm that's flowing above him. It's a giant that specializes in elemental magic, and that is not common in Magic the Gathering. Most of the time, giants are presented as big, powerful, brute dummies. Look at this, though. He's got some kind of crazy talisman that looks like it's made out of the bones of a mammoth, while his fists are just being electrified. And I love all the white snow around. This is really, really nice artwork, man. That's great. Then we've got Elvish Warmaster. The elves look very human in this world. 1 green and 1 for a 2/2 elf warrior. Whenever one or more elves enters the battlefield under your control, create a 1/1 green elf warrior creature token. This ability triggers only once each turn. That's what stops him from being absolutely bonkers busted. And then 2 green and 5. Elves you control get +2/+2 and gain death touch until end of turn. Now, the death touch is where it gets pretty interesting because there's tons of things that pump elves. There's tons of things that make 1/1 elf tokens and stuff like that. But in terms of giving your elves death touch, that's not nearly as frequent a style ability that they give to elves. So the artwork shows who's clearly the Elvish Warmaster. You can see he's leading these elvish forces in the background. He's way more intimidating than your everyday elf, man. He's got this golden sword. I like that the shadow elves, the ones that are like these dark-skinned ones, they have really awesome golden ornamental gear. Well, I guess it's not ornamental because they're using it. They just have awesome like gilded gear, enchanted weaponry. I dig it. Then we've got, oh, wow, okay, this looks a little deeper blue than usual. I gotta say, I think this card might be misprinted, but it looks great. I think maybe it got some extra blue. It looks fantastic. 1 blue and 1 for an instant for Mystic Reflection, if I didn't say the name. Choose target non-legendary creature. The next time one or more creatures or planeswalkers enters the battlefield this turn, they enter as copies of the chosen creature. Oh, wow, that's really funky. I haven't seen this before. So, okay, so you choose a creature that's already in play. And it's just the next time. The next time, one or more creatures. So if you're going to make a bunch of tokens or something in one go, that's weird. Oh, and it's got 4 tells, so you can just set it off to the side, ready to go whenever. Okay. You know what? This is a funky card. I like that. And you can see you've got, like, the original. Which is the original? Is this the original and this is the copy? I'm assuming this is the reflected copy because it has magic, like, looks like it's flowing around it. Oh, wait, no, hold on. Hold on. This is the original. This is a dude down here being transformed into this. Crazy. Look at that. Look at that. He's being transformed into like a shark. That's intense. Oh, dude, I love these showcase frames so much. So we have Call the Forge Master. He's 1 white and 1 red for a 2/2 legendary dwarf warrior. Whenever another non-token creature you control dies, if it was enchanted or equipped, return it to its owner's hand. And creature tokens you control that are enchanted or equipped get +1/+1. Not too shabby. The artwork on this is awesome. You can see Cole at the forge, what I presume is more gods kind of arrayed behind him. It's unfortunate for him that he gets betrayed by Valky, or otherwise known as Tybalt. But I love these showcase frames, man. I love the kind of like wooden plank vibe in the background here. I love these carved pillars with the dragons up in the corners and all that. I like the stylization around the text box. The whole thing, all of this is really cool to me. I love it. Absolutely fantastic. Then we've got another awesome frame one. This is Sigrid, God Favored. 2 white and 1 for a 2/2 human warrior legendary. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, they even do the crazy little like extra stuff to make it look like a legendary frame. That's cool. All right. So flash, first strike, protection from god creatures. When Sigrid Godfavor enters the battlefield, exile up to 1 target attacking or blocking creature until Sigrid leaves the battlefield. Pretty solid, in all honesty. Seems pretty strong. I don't know if they all end up like this, but there's some lines here. Let me see. Let me take a look. I guess that might be part of the design. Okay, I can't tell 100%. So I gotta say, the card quality seems pretty good so far. All right. Oh, another one. We got a foil one. Foil Carter Doomscourge. Don't you look amazing? 1 red, 1 black, and 2 for a 4/3 legendary demon berserker. When he enters the battlefield, until your next turn, creatures your opponents control attack each combat if able, and attack a player other than you if able. Wait a minute. Isn't that just goad? Isn't that the exact wording for the goad ability? I feel like it's just goad. Maybe they just didn't want to use the keyword. That's weird. When they bring back an ability that feels like is literally a keyword ability that already exists, but they don't use it. That strikes me as odd. And it says, whenever an attacking creature dies, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Oh, talk about hyper-aggressive strategy, right? So again, we have one of these gorgeous, gorgeous frames that I absolutely adore. And the demon himself, he totally does look like a demon berserker. This is awesome. I love that he's got this sort of like black, orange, and red hellish energy. And then you've got this cold purple of the people standing before him. There's a massive contrast between that, and I really enjoy it. Then we've got Emmerstorm Predator Extended Art Version. 1 red, 1 black, and 2 for a 3/3 flyer. Whenever it becomes tapped, exile up to 1 target card from a graveyard and put a +1/+1 counter on him. I do like the fact that you get the counter regardless. You don't actually have to exile a card from a graveyard. And sacrifice another creature. Emmerstorm Predator gains indestructible until end of turn. Tap it. This seems decent. It doesn't seem like it's too powerful. It doesn't feel OP, but it feels pretty solid. Definitely has a vampire dragon vibe in terms of it looks very much like a dragon, and the fact that you can sacrifice creatures to it to make it indestructible, that's been a vampiric ability for a while now. I think they introduced the concept of sack and indestructibility for vampires around the time of the first Innistrad. But I could be wrong about that. Either way, not too shabby. And then we have a 1/1 flying spirit token, as well as the treasure token. Look at that treasure. That looks awesome. You've got a golden chalice with like beasts on the side, look like horses, and it's just filled to the brim with jewels so much that they're spilling over the edges. This does feel like Viking treasure, and I like it quite a bit. The spirit is okay. There's nothing wrong with it. You know, it's a pretty standard issue looking spirit. Nothing intimidating about it, but definitely has that spectral vibe. So yeah, I would say overall, not too shabby a pack. Absolutely not the best pack you could get. It's not like I hit like big, amazing cards, but overall, pretty sweet. So, thanks for coming by, my friends. If it's not out already, I have a brand new lore video that's going to be on Fantasy Geographic talking about Ranarr, so check it out. It's a cool story. Thanks for coming by. Name of my biggest patrons on the screen, and I will see you guys next time.